Welcome aboard USS SLATER. This is the second YouTube edition of SLATER Signals, the monthly newsletter produced by the volunteers who preserve the last destroyer escort afloat in America. As the year closed with nearly 8 inches of snow on December 27th, Tim still made his rounds, shoveling his way to the coffee pot and the head before signing your winter fun thank you letters. And just as their wartime predecessors once braved weather at sea, a determined crew of volunteers reported aboard, spending the day needle-scaling in the galley. Your support keeps this historic vessel ship-shape and ready to tell her story. A few days before we secured the ship for the season, we called on our student interns to help rig canvas covers over the gun directors. Thanks to a much-appreciated donation, this is the first year those directors have been properly covered, a small but important step in preserving equipment that's been painstakingly restored. By the next morning, the team had grown to include our non-paid bosun's mates and volunteer swabbies. With a full crew on deck, we moved methodically from station to station, protecting a long list of topside gear from the winter weather closing in on us. It almost read like a naval-themed Christmas carol. One Mark 52 gun director, two 24-inch searchlights, three 3-inch guns, 6 40-millimeter Bofors in 3 months with their Mark 51 directors, 18 20-millimeter Oerlikons in 9 twin mounts, and 1 Hedgehog projector. All of it covered, secured, and ready to ride out the northeast winter. On Monday the 15th, we quite literally decked the mess decks for our annual Christmas party. A donated smoked turkey became the centerpiece of the meal, transformed into enchiladas served Christmas style with both red and green sauce. A few volunteers had to muster a bit of courage to try something new, but most of the crew enjoyed the adventure. We rounded out the spread with rice, beans, and, naturally, plenty of cookies. After a round of Navy-themed carols, and once everyone had unwrapped their gifts from Santa, it turned out the ship herself had a present waiting as well. Chris Wright, editor of Warship International and a respected naval historian, sent SLATER and her Greek Navy incarnation, Itos, a remarkable Christmas gift. He found a photograph on eBay showing Itos, ex-SLATER DE-766, lying outboard of Irax, ex-Ebert DE-768. The image was evidently taken from one of the other 2 destroyer escorts in Greek service, the vessels collectively known as the Beasts. The photo is dated 1956, and a handwritten caption identifies the location. The caption was literally Greek to us, but thanks to our Greek followers on social media, we now know it was taken in the northern port city of Kavala. A small snapshot, but a powerful reminder of SLATER's second life and her international story. Thanks to your winter fund donations, the maintenance crew will keep turning 2 throughout the winter, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays, even as the ship settles into her cold weather routine. Work on the flying bridge is paused until spring, but there's no shortage of other jobs demanding attention. Below deck, the engineers continue their eternal quest to keep the 8 and 3-cylinder diesel generators in fighting trim. They do run on occasion, and part of keeping them alive is maintaining a stock of ready-to-use spares. A recent search through B2, the forward motor room, turned up 6 water coolers, and not a single oil or cooler for the 8-cylinder in B3. Just one more item on a growing list of parts that are becoming nearly impossible to find. Forward in officers' country, we're removing and replacing badly cracked overhead insulation, the kind of slow creeping deterioration every museum ship battles. We also uncovered a leaking porthole that had been quietly saturating the tiled deck, rotting out the base of the bulkhead. Fixing it means pulling up tile and concrete so our ship fitters can get to the metal beneath. It's a reminder that on a ship, especially one pushing 80 years, small leaks become big problems if you don't catch them in time. There's an old children's tale about putting a finger in a dike. It applies to museum ships just as well. And speaking of ship fitters, welding is one of the most critical skills needed to keep vessels like SLATER alive. Medical issues have temporarily sidelined part of our volunteer welding crew, and we are feeling the strain. If you're an experienced welder and want to lend a hand, we could truly use your help. Young welders looking to sharpen their skills, give us a call. Senior welders who simply love the craft, give us a call. Even if you live far away but want to join one of our scheduled work weeks, we'd be glad to have you aboard. In a very real sense, SLATER is a museum of welding, shaped and saved from the scrap heap by world-class welders over the years. You'll find a link in the description if you'd like to join our volunteer crew. Deep freeze tours are now available Monday through Friday by appointment, giving winter visitors to Albany a rare chance to step aboard SLATER even in the off-season. With most of our topside stations buttoned up under canvas, these tours focus on the ship's interior, the spaces that kept sailors warm, dry, and moving when the North Atlantic was anything but forgiving. Our highlight is our internal passageway. As we mentioned in the inaugural YouTube edition of SLATER Signals, that narrow enclosed route was a major design improvement for destroyer escorts. It allowed sailors to move from one end of the ship to the other in heavy seas, a routine challenge during wartime convoy duty. In this video, we're giving you a visual sense of what that journey might have felt like. The tight turns, the low overheads, and the constant reminder that these ships were built for the harshest waters on Earth. In December, we set out to answer a question that first surfaced a few months earlier. How much did a brand new U.S. Navy recruit earn during World War II? Well, in this video, we've taken a closer look at the history behind that number, exploring what a sailor earned upon first enlisting, how those wages stacked up against civilian pay of the era, and what those dollars meant in day-to-day life. We also traced how pay evolved as the war progressed, using the 1940 and 1944 editions of the Blue Jackets Manual to anchor the story in the Navy's own guidance. This episode is part of our ongoing Do You Know playlist, where we tackle visitor questions that deserve a deeper dive than a guide can always give during a tour. Sometimes the answer requires research, context, or a little more breathing room than the flow of the ship allows. And that's where this series comes in. We hope you enjoyed this YouTube version of SLATER Signals. This is a quick video summary. There's a lot more in the PDF version that's available on our website. Links are in the description. Perhaps you have a topic of interest or suggestions for improvement. Let us know in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you. And be sure to like and subscribe to encourage us to do more and to stay in the information loop. Thanks for watching.